Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page here at Facebook and to Communications from Home. This is my weekly show. Here, I'm going to get something kind of cool. I want to show you. There we go. This is from our partners at BeLive TV. They're the ones that have this app that we are partners with, and we can do kind of cool things like this crawler showing you what you're watching, and it's kind of fun. And we like our partners at BeLive TV because we have the opportunity to be able to show things like pictures while we're for our shows and interviews with other people, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And we've been doing this for over a year now. We've been having live stream shows here at Star Nations Radio Network, and we enjoy it. I hope you guys do too. So we're going to hide that. Kind of gets irritating after a while, doesn't it? So anyway, I'm Neshi Lokotz, and welcome to Communications from Home. It is Tuesday night, January 8th, and it is cold and blustery here in Tomah, Wisconsin, where I live, and I am broadcasting from Star Nations Academy. It's on the same property with my house, and it's about a block west of where my house is. And so I don't have to go very far at all, not at all. So tonight's show is all about Star Nations magazine. And Star Nations magazine is a monthly publication. Yes, monthly publication. And it comes in print, and it also comes as a digital for your mobile tablets and phones. In other words, your iPhones, your Androids, your iPads, and your Android tablets. But it also comes in PDF and also web viewer, which means that you can view it on any one of your computers, whether it's your phone or whether it's your desktop or your laptop. Some people still really like to hold something in their hands, the tangible, and so that's print on demand. And other people, they don't even want to have the digital on their hard drive, and so it can be saved in the cloud for them. Right. So we have, however you like to read a newspaper, a book, a magazine, we do have it for you. And, it is fun. We do this every month, right? This issue. And you know what? I think it really does fit me, that's for sure. Because there is this certain kind of adrenaline rush when we just start at the very beginnings of the creation of each issue. And it actually has a completion, right? And that's with the publication date, which is every month on the 10th. So the 10th of every month, we're publishing the Star Nations magazine. Yeah. And so we have a whole host of writers, literally. Almost all of our show hosts, live stream show hosts, are also contributing writers to the magazine. We also have some contributing writers to the magazine who are not live stream show hosts. So it's a nice mixture, actually, of the two. And I would say that 98.2, we'll make it really odd, right, is that they're also spiritual teachers. And so they offer classes. Sometimes they're, like I'm thinking of our elders, Connie Shearwater, and also Carolyn Orchard Franklin and Jan Beaver. Carol and Orchard teach a lot. Jan Beaver is a writer. She writes for us, but she also writes for other periodicals. Okay, and Connie is a mentor, and and she teaches us so much about how she got trained as a clairvoyant, how she was trained, because she's been clairvoyant since she knew since she was very, very little. And so we have the whole thing for you here, right, is what I'm trying to say. So tonight is all about the January issue. Yep, it is. And I'm going to check out to see who's all in the chat here. Oh my goodness, Rochelle is here. Hi, Rochelle. Good to see you in the chat. It's been a while. And Stephanie's here. Hi, Stephanie. Good to see you in the chat. And Rob Kendall, what is Star Nations? Oh, good question. We'll get to that. And Stephanie Williams is actually part of the executive team at Star Nations. She is our social media manager, and you'll see her posting in the chats information for all of us and helping each one of the show hosts and contributing writers to promote their work. Okay, so and she just posted something here. It says, would you like to support live streams from Star Nations and dive a bit deeper into the topics we cover? Consider purchasing a subscription to Star Nations magazine. Yeah, when you do the subscription, the digital subscription, it arrives as a notification for you automatically, and so you know it's there, right? If the print on demand doesn't come in a subscription, but you can set like on your calendar a notification for yourself to remember to purchase the print on demand, or at magcloud.com, which is our partners for the print on demand. You can actually sign up with them by following us there. And when you follow us at MagCloud, you'll get a notification when the Star Nations magazine is published. Yeah, so that's pretty good, actually. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my phone. You guys know the drill. We do this all the time, right? To like and share the broadcast. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Got to find us first. I'm going to like it, and I'm going to share it. And I'm sharing it to my news feed. And just so that my friends know that I'm live streaming. Yeah. And just to please join. There we go. And that's good. There. Simple. It's really very easy. And if you would please like and share, that would really help us out a lot. What we're trying to do is get into the news feed more often. You know that at Facebook, we get a lot of information coming every minute. And sometimes the things that we post out there gets buried and nobody really gets to see it, right? And so one of the things that I know for sure is that Facebook really likes and they really like shares. And they reward those likes and shares by having our information in the news feed much more often. And it's easier for people to find us. Yeah. And thank you, Rochelle. Rochelle said she shared. Excellent. Thank you, Rochelle. A little thirsty. We had carry-in tonight. We had shrimp fried rice. And it's just a little, makes you a little thirsty. Tuesdays are always really, really busy here at Star Nations and at my personal home on Tuesdays. We have, especially the second Tuesdays, because we have so many shows on during the day, and I catch all of them. I try to be in the chat, showing my support. And if the show hosts need any kind of help, then I'm there for them, right? And so today was just really extra busy, and so I looked at Paul and I said, let's do a carry-in. So we called in the order, and Mom likes Chinese, so it's always a good thing. We have it, on the second Tuesday of every month, that's for sure. All right, now for the January issue. First of all, let me answer Rob's question here. And I'm gotta scroll down just a little bit. What is Star Nations? All right, so Star Nations is it's a part of a belief system, okay, that when someone in physical form, a human, a two-legged, crosses over, passes away, that there is a journey that the soul takes. And the soul takes that journey when it leaves the physical body. And this is coming from my belief system, okay, is that the soul, as a spirit, travels for 4 days. Actually, 3 days and 3 nights and 1 day. All right. So in that traveling, they visit. And they visit places that they've been that they really liked. It's kind of like a life review in a way. And they stop by to visit people who, family members and people they care about, right? And so they do this traveling. And then on the fourth day, the spirit is released back into pure energy. In other words, they take the next leg of the journey, which is traveling to the west. And there's the story goes is that there's people to meet, things to do, challenges to meet, and then when you get to the west where the sun sets, is that there's a place where you literally do your leap, and we're following. Some people call it the Milky Way. It's the River of Souls, and there's this place near Orion's Belt where there's a leap, and in that leap, you are then joining the ancestors that are in the stars. Okay, so that's where Star Nations come from, and many Native American nations here in the United States have a creation story, and many of them, with their creation stories, is connected to the stars, star beings. And so ancient information that our souls remember, and what we're doing is we're helping to bring that ancient information into modern day here at Star Nations organization. And so we're literally tapping into our ancestors to bring forward that ancient information so that we can learn how to use it and apply it in modern day. And so that's why we call ourselves your bridge to ancient and modern spiritual information. Thanks for asking that, Rob. I appreciate that. It's a little gives a little clarity, doesn't it? What Star Nations means, and here at Star Nations, we certainly are a community as well. We support each other, and so as above, so below, right? So we have so many in spirit, and up at the stars in the universe that support us, all of our ancestors, and here at Star Nations community, we do the same thing. We support each other. Rob is asking, restaurant or homemade? Restaurant, because I'm busy on Tuesdays, and Paul doesn't do Chinese cooking very well. So whenever we do Chinese, it's always a restaurant. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Stephanie is saying they also really like when you hit the emoticon button. So show what you're feeling during broadcast. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Stephanie. Yeah, so down below, where, let's see, if you're on your phone, it would be, if you hit the like button, you'll have the thumbs up, or you'll have the heart, you have wow, So any of those. I would ask not to do the sad one though, or the angry one. But then again, I'm always saying, don't suppress your emotions, right? Don't hide them. All right, so here we go. We're going to get into the magazine. So Rochelle says her husband died 4 years ago today. So it's your anniversary of, right? Okay. So in my tradition, in my culture, the fourth year is a very important year of when somebody has walked on. From the day that they passed away, we count that as that first year, that first night, or before sunset, we have what's called a ghost meal. And the ghost meal is really food that is or was the deceased's favorite foods. And everybody makes one dish and they bring it. It's kind of like a potluck in a way, but not quite. Um, it's food that the person who walked on that they really liked a lot. And we have this meal together. And what we do is we take a little bit of all the food, just a little bit, and we put it in a bowl, usually a glass bowl, just like tiny, like a dessert bowl. And what we do is even the beverage, just a little bit of the water, a little bit of the tea or the coffee or whatever. And there's a tobacco giving ceremony and also a pipe ceremony that goes with it, and a prayer. And the people, my people, the Potawatomi Nation, what we do is we put that spirit food into a sacred fire. And so we literally share the energy of the food with the spirit of our loved one who passed away. So every year after that, on the anniversary of their death, is we have a ghost meal for them. And so we prepare all of their favorite foods and we have a meal with them. And we do the same thing. We give tobacco, we smoke the pipe, and we put the food in the sacred fire. And on the fourth year, one of the things that happens on the fourth year, Michelle, is that's the year that the stories, the reminiscing of that person, our beloved who crossed over, the memories are more happier than the previous 3 years. The 3 years, it really is a sharing in our grief. And on the fourth year, it automatically feels different. The stories feel different. The things that we share about are about the fun times, the good memories, and we laugh, and it brings us closer together. Okay, and so the fourth year is a really special year. After the fourth year, we don't necessarily have to do a meal with them unless we want to. And sometimes it's kind of like we haven't done one for my dad in about 3 years. And so Mom was saying maybe, this coming anniversary in September of 2019, maybe we should all get together and do a meal for Dad. So I just share that with you because it's another way of looking at that fourth year. It's another way to experience that fourth year. Okay, now we're going to get to the magazine. I'm going to show you the cover. The cover is quite striking, I believe. Now, it is enhanced, and this is enhanced through NASA. I don't know. When I first saw this image, because it takes me maybe a day or two to really search through different photographs and try to figure out what feels right for that particular issue. And so when I got to this one, it was like it was one of those light bulb moments. It was to me, this is the very first cover for 2019, right? We're looking at an astronomy picture that has the energy. It almost looks like the creator's energy going through the center, right? And coming out on the other side. I don't know. I just really like this picture a lot. And it really, I think, grabs your attention. You want to see what is that? What is that? Now, for those who have been on this journey with us in Star Nations for all 5 years, now going into the 6th, you might see just a slight change in the header of the magazine. just a slight tweaking of it. We still have Star Nations and we still have magazine, but what we did was we moved the North Star between Star Nations. That is our branding, that North Star. And we also moved the word magazine above Nations in a smaller font size. Just slight differences. And what I did was and I've been a part of a group for all 5 years since we started the magazine, and it's a mastermind group with our partners at MagCast. And MagCast is our partners that digitizes the magazine. In other words, they're the ones that help us turn it into the version that you can see on your phones and on your tablets. Okay, and so anyway, we were I think it was in October or November, we were taking a look at each other's magazine covers, and so somebody had said, one of the guys at this mastermind group says, he really likes our covers, but if you tweaked it just a little bit so Star Nation stands out, that might even be better. And so when we were, the graphic artists and I at Elf Elm, we were kind of testing that out, right? And we found out of, I think they might have done like 12 different renditions of this. And, and this is the one that really spoke to me. And what I said is that this one sings to me. And so there's just a slight change, and some people might not even notice it. But for me, it has Star Nations, as our friend said, stand out a little bit more. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Rochelle is saying, I have fantastic humorous memories. That's good. That's excellent, Rochelle. Hey, Polly Joe's here. Hello, Polly Joe. Or as Rob would say, what do you know, Polly Joe? And it always makes me laugh, right? Makes you laugh too. All right. So this is the cover. And every month, the contributing writers, what they do is they send me their article title. Before they even send me the article, they send me the title. So I have time to be able to go through the articles and sense, feel, see, using my intuition, which articles will actually be on the cover, so that the graphic artists or layout specialists and I can start working on developing and creating the cover. And we've been doing this for 5 years. 5 years. Yeah. And so the articles that appear on the cover are actually selected by Spirit, and which ones end up on the cover. And so we take a look at the whole list of titles, and there's certain ones, of course, that we know that are going to appear because sometimes they're featured articles, or they're a brand new contributing writer. And so their very first article will appear on the cover for us. And so we have actually 3 of them here. We have Ed Langdon's first article with us. And we also have Connie Shearwater. Now, Connie has been with Star Nations for a while now. I think since 2016 or 2015, something like that. But Connie this is the first time Connie's actually has written an article and will be a contributing writer for every month from now on. So her very first article is in this, and so her title of her article is on the cover, as well as Patricia Heredia. Now, Patricia has been a writer with us for a few months already, but she has moved into writing for us, contributing every month. So let's get to the articles, huh? You guys are going to enjoy the backstory of some of these. I always like it to tell the story. All right. So let's see. I'm going to bring this down so I can find the first one. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to give it a solo here. This is an article. The topic actually came out of Star Nation's radio network closed group. If you remember, I had asked for input on a couple of different live stream shows, asking for our community's input on what topics you would like to know more about or read more about. And one of the topics that came out of this was Aboriginal mythology. Well, we kind of tweaked that a bit. We expanded that into Aboriginal spirituality. Okay. And when I was doing the research, I was trying to find somebody who would write an article for us regarding it. And in my research, I found Dr. Hank Weisselman. And out of, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 different articles that I read through, looking just for the right contributing writer, featured writer, Hank kind of stood out for me. Why? Is because he actually sat down and shared in a blog article that he wrote information, stories coming from 2 different Aboriginal elders. And so, he does have a PhD. And so the article itself is a combination, I think, of that academic and also of the spiritual person. And it's such an eye-opener to a very basic tenet of Aboriginal spiritual wisdom. And we actually talked about it today a bit on the daily live stream. We were talking about this going into the silence, right? And about waiting for important information coming from spirit, and being in the quiet to listen for it. All right. Well, the Aboriginal actually have a word that I can't pronounce. But it means the same thing. It means the same thing as going into the silence. And I hope you really like this article. I think it's an opening to another perspective of understanding spirituality. And so, here at Star Nations, we cover everything under that, from Jewish high holidays to Wiccan to pagan to Native American to Celtic. We cover quite a range of belief systems. And so here's one that is just another way of looking at it, right? Another way of looking at it. And thank you, Stephanie. She has here, and Hank's featured article, I'll put this up, about Aboriginal wisdom. He describes the ability called Dadiri, I hope I pronounced that right, as a special quality that allows each of us to make contact with a deep spring that lies within us. It's similar to what we Westerners call contemplation and meditation. And we were talking about it, about going into the silence and listening, is what we talked about today in the live stream, in the afternoon live stream. So that, and when looking for a picture to go with this, now this is a republishing of his article. The original article you can see at his website, shamanwisdom.com, I believe it is, and you can see it at their website. Looking for a picture to go with his article for Star Nations, I took a look at like 5 or 6 maybe different Aboriginal images that could possibly work for his article. But this is the one, that I thought, man, if I had time to sit down with this elder and listen to the stories, and if I had one question for him, it would be about their connection to fire. Yeah, their connection to fire. Because I'm a fire keeper, that Potawatomi, right? And so I would be interested in knowing, the things that connect us that way. Yeah. I love this picture. I do. All right, so then we have next, yay, Ed Langdon. We're going to give that one a solo here. The name of his new column is Life Wisdom with Ed Langdon. Ed Langdon, Langan. The title of his article is Turning Points, Epiphanies, and the Law of Attraction. And Ed's expertise is about the law of attraction. He's written a couple of books. He teaches classes. He has a live stream that he does. I think it's weekly. And he, talking to him a few times on the phone, is you can tell that he has this love for and of life, and he teaches not just the law of attraction, but about how we view money, the flow of money, right? Our relationship to it. And he also does classes on relationships. And so this is his premiere article in Star Nations magazine. Can't wait for you guys to read it. It is an introduction to Ed and how he even got on this path of law of attraction. How did that all start? And it is, I think you're going to say, Ed's one of us, because his story is so much like many of our stories, okay? And Polly Joe. Polly Joe says, nice, so glad he's a part of Star Nations. Absolutely. And I have to thank Polly Joe because Polly Joe is the one who introduced me to Ed. And then Ed and I had, like I said, several conversations, and and I'm glad he's joined us too. I am. He brings another point of view. And, the other thing that's going to be really cool is that he's got a show coming up, a live stream show. His show is going to premiere in February on Valentine's Day, the 14th, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. But Ed is also knowledgeable in tapping. And so that's one of the things that I asked him if he would do for us is, he can figure it out on which month does he want, or months, plural, does he want to do some tapping for us, with us, to teach us tapping, or to tap on, I don't know, community items that we all kind of share, like maybe procrastination. How do we get through procrastination? That kind of thing. So we really are looking forward to Ed's contributions. Thank you, Stephanie. She has here for us Turning Points and Epiphanies of Law of Attraction. Ed shares with us about his spiritual awakening, the epiphany he had that changed his life and brought the gift of understanding the law of attraction. Ed's story relates to many of us. Many of us have had those life-changing moments. We invite you to read about how epiphanies and the law of attraction can be used as pivot points to change the direction of your life. How is that? How is that? That's pretty good, don't you think? Yeah. I think you're really going to like it. I really do. And I know that I'm partial. I know that. The next one. Okay. Whoops. It did change. Hang on. I just want to make sure I didn't skip over. There we go. All right. And there. Good. This next one. This is Leslie Serenesi, and her article this month. I just could not pass up showing this picture. This is such a great picture. This picture belongs to Leslie. Leslie's name of her column is Communicating with Sacred Animals. And she is an animal communicator. I've had her on my show several times. And in this particular article, she's talking to birds, parakeets to be specific. And in this article, she was there specifically for the parakeets. But there was another feathered friend there that the family wanted her to talk to get some information. And it was a macaw, and this macaw had a very challenging relationship with one of the owner's daughters, a younger daughter. And it was a love-hate relationship. And so they wanted to get to the bottom of it. And so Leslie helped them to do that. And I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story because it's too good to tell it right now. You guys have to read it, and how Leslie was instrumental in bringing a relationship closer together. I think you're going to love it. You're just going to love this macaw and this little girl. Leslie has been writing and contributing to Star Nations magazine for probably 4 years now. And maybe that's going on 4. And her gift of animal communication, I don't know, the things that she has brought to us, like the elephants, her communication with the elephants and learning about African elephants. There was 96, I think it was the name of her article. This was a few months ago. I think it was in the September or October issue, I think. But, you know, she brings that element of the communication in the animals into Star Nations magazine, and I love it. I do. And she's fun. Oh my gosh. If you ever get a chance to take a class with her, or to connect with her with some time to do some animal communications for you, you know, it's well worth the investment. It really is. In fact, Leslie is going to be here at Star Nations Academy. It's in the spring. I want to say March, could be April. And she is going to be teaching a very basic class about animal communication here. She's coming to Wisconsin. Yay! So we're going to start getting the information out about that class, and hopefully you'll be able to join us for that. And, you know, she gets to meet George in person. Yeah. We did a show with George and Leslie. There we go. Next up, this is Patricia Heredia. We all know her as Patty. She has her own business called the Therapy Center, and that is what we call her column, is the Therapy Center, in the health and healing section of Star Nations magazine. And Patty, she is such a sweetheart. She moved into writing every month, starting with this January issue. She was writing every other month, and when I asked her if she could do me a favor and write every month until I could find someone else to do the other half, the other half of the year, and so she said, of course, but she says, I'd be willing to write every month. It's like, yay, of course. And so this particular article, what is weight gain all about anyway? The name of her article is her premiere monthly article in Star Nations magazine. I tell you what, this article, talk about mind-blowing and belief system blowing, and it's like, okay, we have to talk about our bodies and how our bodies burn food. I was sitting there with my mouth open saying, what? Really? And so when you read this article, what I should do is have her come on a show with me, and we can talk about this article, and you guys can ask her questions about it. Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. She has the description of it. It says, what is the most stated New Year's resolution? Many people want to lose weight and have better overall health. Patricia opens our minds to another perspective about why we are overweight or less than desirable health. She would like to offer an entirely different perspective, and over the next few months, share the different perspectives with you, and then give practical steps that anyone can implement. Find out more about the role your liver plays in your weight. Oh, oh, I tell you what, I'm gonna ask Patty to come on a show with me so we can talk about the liver for one. And I was also thinking maybe it would be a good idea to have Patty on, maybe to have Bob Hennington on, and possibly Polly Jo, if she's available, for her to come on, so that we can talk about this one part of our body that we may not really understand all that well. And I don't know. I'm thinking it could be one of those that going down in history kind of shows. And so Patty just brings this freshness about how our body processes fuel intake, food, and also the things that we can do in a practical way to help ourselves. It's not that hard. Not the way she describes it anyway. And so I hope you really enjoy her article. And if you're looking for having a more healthy and balanced physical health in 2019, I think you'll really want to read this article, because I tell you what, it certainly opened my eyes. It did. All right. Whoops, wrong button. Wrong button. Next up. Oh my goodness. Spiritual Art of Business with Brandaline Johnson. Brandaline, I tell you what, she talks about your website. If you have a website and you have a business, this you want to read, because it's how your website can be welcoming, not just a business point of view. Okay. And to be warm. And she actually gives very, again, practical tips on what aspects of your website that you could be paying attention to, so that it is more welcoming, so that when you do have clients or prospective clients or customers, that how they're received at your website. In many ways, our very first page of our website is our front door. And so from a feng shui perspective, are we inviting chi as in energy, life force in, or not, right? How happy is that chi coming into our website? And so with this article, and if you have a website, this is a good time to take a look at it. Take a look at the tips that she gives, that Brandaline gives, and see if it's something that you're already doing, which would be a big yay. You got confirmation, validation, right? Or if there's something that could be tweaked, you can do that. And I would add to put that on your calendar to do for the next Mercury retrograde. If you have an existing website already and you want to get it tweaked, is tap into the Mercury retrograde to redo, right? Reevaluate. To do that. And it gives you some time then to take a look at it and what you want to tweak and change. And here is, thank you, Stephanie. Spiritual Art of Business, welcoming clients to your website. The beginning of the new year is a great time to freshen up your website. Brandaline shares about how to create a welcoming website for your clients. She has brilliant pragmatic tips that will enhance your business cyber front door. It's true. It's very true. You can have your website really welcoming. Gorgeous front door. Oh my goodness. Here's one. The Witch's Cauldron is a column by Adrienne Campbell. Look at that picture. I had so much fun with this picture. Now, Adrienne likes to look for her own photographs, her own images. And so she and I kind of worked together about the copyright thing. But this particular picture, when I saw it, it was like, oh, it really draws you in, doesn't it? I love it. the title of her article is "Dream Your Heart's Desire." Dream your heart's desire. Now, Adrienne is a solitary witch. She is, how do I want to say this? She's an empath, okay? And she is really learning how to master that gift. And doing this column is a huge, huge step for her. Because she's sharing her gift with everybody. And her main gift with this is herbology. Yeah. She's a healer. She knows plants and their healing qualities. And in every article, she has a recipe using plants and herbs for whatever article topic that she's writing on. For instance, this January issue, she has a tea called mugwort tea. And its qualities is to help you with dreams. And she has this in her article. It's so sweet about how dreaming our heart's desire and how we can tap into our dreams to be able to create our heart's desire. And the mugwort tea is an ally, is a helper for us to do that. And so, she brings that Wiccan perspective, which is good, but she fine tunes it to the use of herbs, and and it's fun. It's fun. She makes it sound so easy too, and her recipes are simple. I'm going to find some mugwort, and I'm going to make this tea that she has, this recipe for us. I got to check the time here. 7:45. Okay. Next up. Oh my gosh. All right. This is Earth Energies with Karen Crowley-Suzani. And many of you recognize Karen. I've had Karen on the show a few times. And she brings so much really good information about Earth Energies, stuff that many of our audience sometimes don't even really know about. And so it's something new, right? It's something new. And so in this particular article, she writes about polarity. And that, Earth is about polarity. We see it every single day, almost every moment of our life. We recognize it. And sometimes we recognize it as the opposites, right? Light and dark, white and black, good and bad, male and female. So we have that all around us all the time. Now it does affect our health, and we don't really recognize that sometimes. And Karen, in her article, she helps us to understand that. Yeah, and actually gives us some exercises that we can do to rebalance our electrical body. Yeah, and she gives really good examples of when of the polarity is out of balance, when it's not balanced, and what happens to the physical body. And we can see it in plants and in animals and earth. And so what to do to rebalance that polarity. It's a fascinating article. Fascinating. And Karen has a new book out too. I can't remember, Sacred Geometry something. We'll get the title for you and where you can get it. Yeah, it's good stuff. If you like Earth Energies and you like the balance of spirit and science, this is a good article to read about. Yeah. Aw, this is Polly Joe's article. Yep, it is. I'm going to give it a solo here. Hang on. It's her article, Aligning Your Evolution in the New Year. Yeah. I love this picture. we take right around the new year, between Christmas and the new year, the end of that previous year, and we do some reflection work, right? Reflecting on the past year, what we've accomplished and what we haven't, and things we would have done better or different. And then we start looking toward the new year. Wow. Polly Joe in this article brings to us a channeled writing. The Ancient One had something to say about the evolution of our soul work, and how we can, what's a good word for that? How we can tap into that higher frequency in 2019. Yeah, here we go. Thank you, Stephanie. She says, she's got the description for us here. We are in for a spiritual treat. Polly Joe and her spirit helper, the Ancient One, share with us how we shift our energy to align with Grandmother Earth as we continue the evolution of our soul. Find the answers you may be seeking to your questions in Polly Joe's column, Chakra Sessions. Yeah, that the Ancient One, he really does offer to us another way of looking at how we connect to Grandmother Earth and how our soul evolves. Yeah, the frequency. It's a great article. And if you were a part of the live stream show this afternoon with Polly Joe, Chakra Sessions, when she spoke about the 12 chakra system, this is kind of along the lines of that. So if you had some aha moments from the live stream show, you're going to get some aha moments in this particular article. So you have to let us know, okay, when you read this article, your feelings and your thoughts, okay? Okay. Here we go. One more here. Carla Joe Worth. The name of her article title is, I got to get the solo so it gets a little bit bigger here. It says The Months of the Year. And the name of her column is The Eclectic Pagan's Journey. And it is found in the Sacred Feminine section of the magazine. Now, I have to say that my husband, Paul, who is one of the editors, right, he takes the near final PDF and he does an edit. And he goes through it about 3 times. And when he read Carla Joe's article, he looked up at me and he said, "Holy cow, this is a really good article." I said, "Which one?" And he said, "Carla Joe's." She said, "I learned some stuff about the months that I didn't know about. I didn't know, and it was pretty cool." He said, "This is really a good educational piece." And so if you want to know the energies behind the name of the months, Carla Joe brings it, and she brings it big. It's something that you can actually teach your children, your grandchildren, and where the name of the month derived from and what it means to us today, right? Rob says, "I just want to say that I'm fully objective, and Julie Hedges wrote the best article." Now, I haven't gotten to Julie's yet. You just wait. I know. It's kind of like, for me, it's kind of like when somebody says, pick out the best article. And I like them all, and for different reasons, but I am not impartial whatsoever when it comes to Star Nations magazine or Star Nations anything, really. And so the contributing writers, they really, really bring their heart and their soul to their articles and to their shows. And I think we can tell. I do. All right, so here we go. We have Reflections of 2018 and the Coming Year, 2019. Carla Joe, she inspired the layout, the historical and anthological meaning of each month of the year. This information can be very useful as we make our plans for 2019. Tap into the spirit of the months as you plan for your heart's desire in 2019. Why not? Why not tap into the spirit, the medicine of each of the months, right? We get it, Rob. Except that now Polly Joe. Jeez, Rob. Oh, you guys are too funny. All right. Oh my gosh. It's so hard to talk about yourself, right? This is my editorial piece. And I talk about the school of polarity, Earth, and how we are striving for balance, striving to master the essence of the unified field. That's what we're striving for, and so my editorial is all about that. I also include a video. It's a YouTube, The Spirit of Science. They did a really good piece about polarity, and I think you guys might like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay. This is one of my favorite pictures. The diamond heart, and you can see the reflection. This is Tony Charrette's article, and he writes under the Sacred Masculine section of the magazine. Tony brings the heart's desire to your personal life. And the way he shares about our attempts of past years and what makes 2019 different this year is that using actually our heart's desire is in our heart. And he's talking about that in such a way that it's so endearing. It's so endearing. Tony's been writing for us for a few months now, actually years. Let's see, it's been maybe 2, going on 3 years. He is Native American. He's an Anishinaabe. He lives in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And his perspective is very, very unique. Being a Native American man, a two-spirit, living in an urban setting, downtown practically. And so he brings a very unique perspective in so many ways. And so whenever he writes an article, he can't help from writing from that perspective. And that's what makes his articles very heartwarming, and they make you smile. So here's the description for Tony's. Tony's experience with heart's desire is helpful to understand our own heart's desire. He shares the heart and its many, many points of view can give you endless sources of inspiration, wisdom, connectivity, joy, and happiness. Connectivity, it's like that word. This article is a reminder for us to spend time connecting with our hearts. Yeah, I like Tony a lot. I do. I haven't seen him in a few years, and so can't wait to be able to get over to Michigan again and see everybody. Mini Kansman, nature adventures, travel desires. And the pictures are mouth-watering, eye-watering. I mean, they're just captivating you. And she gives a little description of each place that she has traveled to, and that it was a part of her heart's desire to be in those places, and how spirit moved things for her to be able to be in those places. It's a good one. One of the things that she also includes is a YouTube video There is a trip planned to Scotland in 2020. And there's a YouTube about Hogwarts train and the route that it takes through Scotland and the points along the way that were used in the movies, Harry Potter movies. And so, yeah, it's really, really good. Minnie's article, it had me sitting back and thinking, yeah, where would I want to travel in 2019? Where do I want to go? And so in 2019, I'm going to be going to Colorado with Minnie and Rain. I'm going to Colorado in September. I haven't done a trip in a couple of years, so I'm looking forward to it. And here is the description for Minnie's. Minnie takes us on a journey to her favorite past trips, nature adventures, to some of her favorite places on Earth. She says, the past 10 years of running a travel business have given me many opportunities to fulfill my heart's desire of seeing the exquisite beauty of planet Earth. If you love to travel and if you love Grandmother Earth, you will love this article. And it's true. It's true. Just looking at the pictures. It's a good one. Okay. Aw. All right. Sharon Rosenblum and Nourishing Body and Soul. She took the topic chocolate and taught us about chocolate. Where it comes from, why is it seen as sacred, how to get the best chocolate, why is it the best chocolate, and she also includes a gooey chocolate cake recipe that's gluten-free. Gluten-free. I didn't say sugar-free. I said gluten-free. And it looks so good, so good. And so with Sharon's article about chocolate, she makes eating chocolate not just healthy, but sacred. And that cake is it looks so good, especially for those of us who love chocolate. Definitely. And here we go. This is Connie Shearwater's premiere article in Star Nations magazine. Connie is going to be a monthly contributor. Under the title of her show is Spiritual Mysteries of Life, and so that is also the name of her column, Spiritual Mysteries of Life. And she wrote about epiphany and manifestation taken from her own personal experience. And yeah, Connie shares this experience with us that leaves you thinking, now I know why I like her so much. You know, she just writes from her heart, and I think you're really going to enjoy her very first article. And finding that picture for her was so much fun. That's actually Mother Mary, a Cuban rendition of Mother Mary. Yeah, it's very pretty. Here we go. Julie Hedges. Here we go, Rob. Julie Hedges. And her title of her article is Beginning of Light. And she writes under the column, The Tarot Journey to the Stars. Julie is a great teacher. And that's what she does in every one of her articles, is that she teaches. She teaches us about the tarot and about astrology. And she teaches it in a way that she uses her personal life as an example. And this is such a good article. She actually gives us a new layout that she developed with this. And she also shares with us one of her poems in her article. The Beginning of the Light is about how we look forward to, right? As the days get longer, there's more sunlight. And that starts with the solstice. And then when we roll into the new year, you know, we're waiting for the light to return, for our lives to be lighter. And it's a really good article on how she teaches us about the tarot through that. And I think you're really going to like this new layout too. For those who do tarot, to please give it a try and try the layout. I think you're going to like it. Yeah. Let's see. Who's up next? Aw. This is the picture that I had to stare at for quite a while. This little guy. So cute. So cute. This is Eddie Mullen's article, and the name of it is Walking with Spirit. The name of his column is Wisdom Keeper's Path. And Eddie writes every month. In this particular article, Eddie shares with us about what it was like as a child coming into the physical world with a lot of intact memories. Yeah. And being in a family that didn't embrace his differences and was not a very spiritual family. And so he shares his early life, his experiences with that. And this little boy, oh my gosh, the picture that he found to go with his article really touches your heart. The reason why he even shared this particular article with us is because he believes that there are many, many more adults out there who had very similar experiences. And there's also parents out there who may have a child that they don't quite understand. And so he's trying to be helpful to both. And truly is writing from his heart in this article. And so if you are interested in reading about how a sensitive child can grow up to be a sensitive adult and embracing his gifts, to become not just a teacher, but a mentor to a lot of people who are having some positive outcomes in their lives. That's it, Here we go. By Eddie, right? When we walk forward down a path, we take one step at a time. Did you know connecting to our path, spiritual path mission on earth is done in exactly in the same way? Eddie shares that we can reveal our soul's destiny by looking at the clues left in our path as far back as our early childhood. A journey back helps us to understand the pattern of moving forward into our soul's destiny and mission. It's a pretty deep article. I have to go back just a little bit. I want to give Julie her due to make sure we know Julie's article. Julie's article, Beginning of the Light. Julie contemplates the returning of the light, the returning of the new in her January article. As the light returns, we see more of our surroundings and can plan for the new that we want to cultivate in our experiences. How do we prepare for and weave our New Year's intentions to become part of our living experience? How does the return of the light inspire you? It's a great article. It's a good one. Well, we did it. We went through the entire, I'm sorry I went over by 7 minutes, but I wanted to make sure we fit everything in, and we did. I just want to show you one last time, if I can get there, the cover. Oops, went too far. Oh, let's show this one instead. Here they are. Those are the contributing writers. That's a great group of souls right there. And I'm very grateful to them and appreciate everything they put into Star Nations magazine. Yeah. They're a good group of souls to walk the red road with. Well, with that, thank you for being with me tonight. I really do and appreciate it. And to be able to share some of the backstory with you about the articles and about the writers and about Star Nations. You never know. Some of this information may end up on trivia night next New Year's Eve. You never know. Isn't that right, Stephanie? So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. Please come back and see us for Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. Oh my gosh, that's turning out to be quite an evening event each week. The first half of that time with Polly Jo is a healing meditation. The second half of that, about an hour and a half it is. The second half of that is the card divinations, card readings. If you wanted an individual card read, you can come and join us and say, yes, please. And Polly Jo will select a card for you and do a mini card reading. Was it a few weeks ago? She pulled 53 cards. Oh my gosh, 53. Last week it was 47. So come and join us, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Soul Connections. And we'll see you next week for Communications from Home at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday night. Good night, everybody. I love you.